Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Our next guest says there are 4 things that happy people never do. So today, a few things to avoid if you want to shake off the COVID blues and not worry so much. Eric Rittmeyer is a former Marine. He wrote this book. It's called The Emotional Marine, 68 Mental Toughness and Emotional Intelligence Secrets to Make Anyone Instantly Like You. Good morning to you, Eric.
Molly, good morning. I have to talk about that study with the kids and hair. What happens if I have no hair? I get the gray hair. What happens if you have no hair? Does that mean I'm like extra stressed or what?
Um, Quite possibly. But one thing you don't have to worry about is, will your natural hair color come back, or is it all going to go gray? So you're removed from that worry entirely.
It's the simple things in life, Molly. I'm such an easy yes man. I love it. So great.
Yep, I like it too. And I love that these things, I know never is a strong word, but basically your point is there are certain things that we can avoid or certain things we should not do if we want to be happy and live a fulfilled life.
Yeah, there's so much out there, Molly, about do this, do that, don't do that, whatever. And it's like I wanted something to say, okay, these are things that the happiest people that I work with, that I train, that I coach, these are things they don't do. It starts off with the number one thing. They don't make assumptions. Okay. You know what happens. It makes a you know what out of you and me when we assume. Can't say it on live television. FTC be after me. We can't make assumptions. The problem is when we're put in these situations where we don't have all the information, we rely on things that we just fill in the blanks with. It might be stuff taken totally out of context. We make assumptions. It gets us upset, not needing to get us upset.
I think this is such a great point. And I think one of the main assumptions that we make that makes us unhappy is when we assume everything is personal. It's all about us. The reason somebody doesn't come to your party or the reason somebody doesn't reach out to you, that it must be about us and makes us unhappy when it might have a whole lot more to do with them or something going on in someone else's life.
This is my whole life's work, Molly. This is what I speak on. Emotional control. Emotion and logic are inversely related. As we become more emotional, we become less logical. The happiest people don't process information emotionally. They process it logically and understand, hey, this person doesn't hate me. This person's not whatever. They might just be unhappy in their life, but I'm not going to allow myself, I'm not going to let them dictate my feelings.
Such a great point. We asked on Facebook too, you'll be happy to know what's something that happy people never do to get viewers' response. And one of the things one of our viewers said was that they don't emit toxicity, which gets me to your second point. You say they don't gossip, they don't say negative things about other people, probably especially if they don't know if it's true or not.
Gossip's a horrible thing, Molly. All it does is just degrades us of our own character and it ruins the reputation of other people. A lot of times we know nothing about. Gossip's a horrible thing. And here's the thing about it. When we gossip to other people, that person unconsciously associates us with the same traits that we're characterizing these other people as. Meaning that if I'm saying negative things to you about somebody else, you automatically characterize me and view me in a negative light based on what I'm saying. Happy people don't gossip. They allow themselves to make their own decisions. They let other people make their own assessments of people. Just because I don't get along with you doesn't mean somebody else might not get along with you. Gossiping is never a good thing.
I totally agree. The third thing you say is that happy people don't feel sorry for themselves. And, quite honestly, lately, I think a lot of us have been feeling sorry for ourselves. We've been locked in our houses. It's been a pandemic. Many people have had people close to them very sick. You might have even lost someone. It's easy for us, I think, especially lately, to feel sorry for ourselves.
Here's the most important point here, Molly. It's okay to feel sorry for ourselves. 100% of the emotions we feel are okay. Happiness, sadness, anxiety, whatever it is, 100% of those feelings are okay. It's how we respond to those feelings that's so important. Feeling sorry for ourselves is a natural emotion. It's okay. But we can't sit on the couch with an 18-inch pizza and a tub of ice cream 5 days a week bawling our eyes out about it. Get back up, dust yourself off, get moving along, but it's okay to feel sorry. Just move on after it. Don't dwell on it.
What about people who have anxiety? It's epidemic in our country right now. What do you say to people who have extreme anxiety? It's okay to feel anxious, but do something about it. Is that what you're saying?
Don't try to suppress it. This is what I see. I've done a lot of media on this emotional suppression where we try to turn things off. We try to ignore the feelings. We try to suppress the feelings. That's not healthy to do. What we need to do is communicate how we feel, reach out to people that we trust, that we love, get medical help if we need it, but don't try to turn off the emotion. We can't turn off emotions. We're animals. We're hardwired to feel first and think later. Instead of expecting people to ignore the way they feel, let's give them tools and mechanisms for how to express it. It's a lot healthier that way.
I like that. That is a very important statement you just said. And the fourth thing that happy people never do is you say they don't hold grudges.
Really, really important. There's an old phrase that says anger is an acid that causes more harm to the vessel in which it's stored than to anything on which it's poured, meaning that we cannot hold grudges. All it does is poison us internally. Get upset. I'm not saying to forget when people do bad things to us, but we can't allow it to fester internally. There's no way for us to begin the healing process if we continue to rerun this stuff through our brain and continue to hold these grudges. Get over it, be done with it, address it. Don't allow it to happen again. Don't let anybody take advantage of you. Get rid of the grudge. It does no good for anybody.
So your point then is forgive people? Is it as simple as that?
I found to forgive but never forget. Okay. So again, you just have to learn these lessons. I deal with this with my teenage daughters right now. There's going to be things, there's going to be people that do bad things to you. Forgive, but just learn from that. Don't allow it to happen a second time. It does no good to hold on to this anger. Like I said, it just poisons us internally. We worry, we stress, it transfers over to other parts of our lives. I call this compartmentalization. We can't compartmentalize these emotions. So what's happening here is affecting what's happening here. They're not related at all, but unfortunately, it just creates this big emotional tornado, I call it, of things that are totally out of context.
Great common sense advice and wonderful 4 tips happy people do not do. Great to see you, Eric. Thank you so much.
Likewise, Molly, thank you for having me. I'm going to grow my hair out too.
Just don't let it go gray. Although, like we said, gray hair can be sexy too. Thanks again.
Great seeing you. Thank you.
You too. All right, you can find Eric and his book on this website. It's mentaltoughnessspeaker.com. All right, up next on the show, it is a dream come true for